Hello everyone, welcome back to another Procreate tutorial where today we're going to have a Halloween theme and we're going to do some spooky ghosts. So let's get started. If you do not know how to set up your tablet to follow along with my tutorials, I have made a separate video on how to do that, so I'll leave a link to that and you can go watch that and check out how to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push the little wrench here, go to Canvas, and turn on reference, and then I'm going to import an image and I'm going to put in my sketch here, which is right there. I'm going to put this right along the side here, and the canvas I got is 3000 by 3000 pixels, and the drawing guide grid is at 316 pixels. So that way you'll match your grid over here to the one that's on your canvas here. All of the things that you will need to follow along with this tutorial is in a free download over on Gumroad. You can download the brushes, the color palette, and also 2 versions of the sketch to help you along by doing this tutorial. It is a free download, although I've set it up where you can donate $1 or $2 if you find these tutorials helpful for you and you want to support the channel. So with that, let's get started. I'm going to use my Chemo Inker Streamliner for the outline. And we're just going to start in black here. So I'm just going to start at the top here with these ghosts. So down 1 square and about here. Alright, and oops. Coming around like that, and make this a little bit bigger so it's easier to see. So that wasn't really a U, it was just a kind of a line there and a line there. Okay, and then we have, I'm going to need my drawing glove. Okay, we're going to come down to about there and then connect up to there. So the good thing about the ghost is they don't have to be perfect. You know, you just make them curvy lines and they're going to look good. And do that one. We're going to have another point come out right here. I'll make my brush a little bit smaller. I'm at 4% now. That last line there was kind of thick. I think that's probably good. Okay, and then just a couple of lines here to make it seem like there are folds. We're going to, when we start the coloring process, we're going to use the smoke brush to make it look very wispy. And I've provided that for you, although it does come with your Procreate program. So a couple of eyes and a round mouth right there. So there's our first ghost. It looks like we got some little water droplet things here. Go ahead and drop those in. Alright, and then I'm going to start on this ghost that's right beside him. So a little bit down from the line right here. And then we're going to go up. And then around, maybe up to there, to there. So maybe about like that. Okay, I'm going to put in his eyes, just some ovals. If you want, you can hold your pen down to make them really nice. Alright, and looks like we got a little sad mouth there. Okay, now the bottom of this ghost here is going to come About like that. And then we got some squiggly lines there at the bottom. Okay, we're going to do somewhere over here. And we're going to come around, touch that grid line, and then go back up. About like that. And then we got another line here. And a little one in the middle. Then we got a couple of curlies here and here. Alright. Maybe there. And I think I'm going to have to put in that bottom ghost to have a reference. I'm going to go keep moving up along the top here. So I'm going to do another little water droplet there. And then right here. There's another little one up here. And then we got this little guy here. So he's going to go up and over and about like that. And you got a little sad mouth. And he only has one eye. Okay, moving on over, we got this little wiggly shape here. So again, it doesn't have to be perfect, just make a little wiggly shape. And then we got a water droplet there, circle here. I don't want these things like perfect because it's supposed to be wispy, so alright, go back over here on the left. Okay, we got this big guy here. So he's going to be touching the other ghosts here. So we want to maybe start here, and I'm going to just go up and around. And it's going to stop about there. I might have to erase some lines that I overlapped. We got an eye here, an eye here. Oops, I don't like that one. I'm going to hold my pen down on this one. They're too small. That's fine. And he's got a little nose. And a jagged little mouth. So you're going to have to do that if you're using the monoline brush. Or not the monoline, the Channel Ink or Streamline. You're going to do that very slow because it's going to tend to want to straighten that line out. So the slower you go, the easier it will be to make that jagged line. I'm just going to clean up these overlaps here. And that's good, I think. Okay, so we got that circle there. I'm going to put that in. I'm going to continue this ghost. Looks like he's got like a little point there. We'll connect that one up, and then we got another line right there, and we got a little, look like a little water droplet there. Okay, that's good. Let's move over. Okay, we're gonna get this little guy in here. So we want to start somewhere here. You're going to go around and come through that right on the corner of that edge of that two intersecting grid lines. So we're going to go up here. And just about like that. And this has got like a lot of lines here, so I think that's it. I'm not going to do that other one. I'm just going to leave it like that. And then we're going to come down to about there. We're going to put in some eyes. Oops. There we go. And then a little mouth here. We got a water droplet there. Okay, let's get this guy in here. So he's going to be going up this way. And he's going to be touching that ghost, coming down here, maybe down to there. Okay. Okay, and the top portion of him is going to come out maybe over to there. I'm going to turn the canvas so I can pull it towards me. Maybe like that. Okay, let's get him an eye. And one over here. That eye is bothering me. It's a little bit bigger. We'll just leave it like that. And then a mouth. Okay, let's go over to this guy right here. So we got him coming out of the, look like a hand of a ghost. And he's going to be kind of going along that grid line right there and then come up, not going to cross the top one, and then about down to there. So about like that's good. And we got an eye, and an eye here, and a mouth. Okay, looking good. Okay, let's do this little wispy shape here. Alright, and then a little drop under it. And then looks like this ghost has some spikies coming out. Okay, and that's good. Like I said, it don't have to be perfect. That little circle there. Okay, and it looks like, oops, we got a little water droplet there. Now let's get this bottom of this ghost. I'm going to do the last one down here. Make sure that's touching. Okay, and then we got some kind of detail lines. Alright, I think we got everything in. Okay, let's move on down. So we're going to put in maybe this guy next. And I'm going to see if I can get this little shape in here. So it looks like just a curve. Like that. Well, mine didn't, this one didn't touch, but I'm going to close it off so I'll be able to fill the color in. Okay, this ghost. So we got him coming up here, touching that line, maybe about to there, touching that line, and then stopping somewhere right there. Alright, and we got an eye here, and an eye here, and then a mouth. Okay, let's do the bottom of him, so about there. I don't like this thickness. See if I can fix that a little bit. My eraser. Yeah, that's better. Okay, and then got a little circle here. Okay, and this is going to come about like that, And then gonna connect him. Do it from the bottom. Alright, and so those right there. Alright. Then we're going to come make sure these are connected. And that's good. I'm just going to do some little lines down here for details. And some up here. Okay, I think he's good. So let's do this big guy here in the middle. So then we got a line coming out of that going around to about here, touching that other ghost. And then we got some details up here at top. We'll put in his eye. Find when you hold your pen down, the circle that you originally made gets smaller, so you have to like keep your pen held down and then slowly drag it to resize it. Okay, that line right here, about there, and we got some round loops down here, and we got one right there. Okay. Put in some of these little detail lines. As you see, I'm not following, so closely with my sketch like I normally do, because this is not going to affect the way the ghosts look with all these little wispy lines down here, so it's not that big of a deal, which makes it a little bit less pressure. We got this little circle, or the little water drop there. And now we have these curved lines here. We got one there. And this one's going to meet up. We got to fix that. That's too fat. Alright. And then these little detail lines here. We got one here. And those two. Okay, let's do... We didn't do the bottom of this ghost yet, so... Got him coming out here. And then some little detail lines there. Like we got one here. And maybe one there. That's good enough. Okay, let's get this last guy in here. So we got him coming about there. And he's gonna round off about there. Maybe there. Okay. And then the bottom portion here. Okay. Then I think I'm just going to connect these two here. Just like that, and then we'll put in all these little wispy lines here. All right. An eye, a little mouth, and another eye. Okay, we got a little water droplet here. And I think, oh, we got one here. I think that is it. If I've missed something, it's not that big of a deal. Alright, yeah, I like it. I'm going to turn off my sketch now. So there we go. Okay, so when we do the coloring on this one, I'm gonna do it a little bit different than I normally do, because I'm gonna want a gradient, and I can see a ghost that has an open line, so that's gonna be a problem. This guy right here, see that outside line is not touching anything, so that's gonna be a problem if we color. So this has got to close off somewhere. We'll just close it off there. There'll probably be some more. We'll find it out when we start dropping in our colors. And we'll fix it as we go along. So I want some gradients. So what we're gonna do is some of the ghosts are gonna be the same color. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put the same colored ghosts on the same layers. So if for example, if I have a red ghost, he's gonna be on one layer. All the blue ghosts are gonna be on another layer. The green ghost is gonna be on another layer, and the yellow ghost is gonna be on another layer. So that way I'll be able to color all of those at once and have the same gradient. Alright, so go up to your layers menu. You should just have your sketch in your background. We're going to create a new layer. And we're going to drag it under our sketch. And we're going to set our sketch to reference. So as we usually do, that's going to tell us that when we drop the colors here on layer 2, it's going to use the lines above it for reference. And then we can have as many layers under it as we need to. So I'm going to start off with, let me see, we'll go to color palettes here. And I gave you the ghost color palette. I've given you a lighter color and a darker color. So the darker color will be the shadows, and the lighter color will be the lighter colors. And these two colors are going to make the gradient. So I think from starting, I'm just going to, it doesn't really matter whether you do the light one or the dark one. I'm just going to do the light one first. So choose that lighter reddish color, or pinkish, I guess. Make sure you're on layer 2. And we're going to drag and drop to that ghost there. Okay, and then this part right there is going to be red, and this little circle. And I think that's about it. Okay, so that's our reds. He's on one layer. We're going to create another layer, and that's going to be a different color. So our next color is going to be our light blue color here. And the light blue ghost is going to be him, this guy, and that guy. So right along that line right there. And then any of these little extra things here. You can drop those in. We'll do him, and this one down here. Okay, and I think this part too. Yep, that's good. Okay, starting a new layer. Oops, turned off my line work. Make a new layer, and this one's gonna be green color. So we're gonna pick that little lime green. I'm going to drop him in there. And then the this drop, and that drop, and this one is going to be green, and we're going to have a green right there too. Oops, we got to get this guy right here. All right. Yep, that's it. That's all the greens. Okay, start a new layer again. Now we're going to go for the orange. Okay, and the two bottom ghosts here are going to be orange. So this guy and this guy. And then I think that was my original kind of reference line, but that's okay. We'll leave it in there. We got that orange and that orange. Maybe this one and this one. And I think that's about it. Okay, last one. Start a new layer again. We're going to do the light yellow here. And the rest of these guys are going to be this yellow. Oops, I missed. Here we go. All right, so that's all the coloring done. And let's go ahead and change the background to black now. Now it's looking really cool. All right, I'm gonna turn off my reference lines drawing guide because they're kind of bothering me. So now we have all of our colored goats on separate layers. Now here's where the gradient's gonna come in. What we're going to do is we're going to do the darker color on the left side of the ghosts. And then the lighter color will be on the right side. And then we're going to do a Gaussian blur, which is going to combine those two. And it's going to create that gradient effect that we want. Now, to keep us from, the reason that I put these on separate layers is now we can create a new layer on top of each one. And we can set that layer to clipping mask. And now it will only allow me to color in where the red parts are, which is going to be very helpful because we can just choose any big brush. We could stay with our Eco Street liner, but we can just like make it a little bit bigger, like a lot bigger maybe. Or, you know, something that might be even better is if you go, I didn't give this to you, but it's still in your airbrushing section here, and just choose a soft brush. Let's see what that's going to do. And then choose your darker color. And then remember, the left side of the ghosts are going to be the darker ones. So I'm going to make that a little bit bigger, and then we're just going to and see if I color up here, it's not on the blue because we're on that one layer. We're on the red layer only. All right, and now go to your little magic wand tool and go to Gaussian blur and then slide your pen over. And now you can see we have a nice gradient from light to dark. Okay, makes it look really cool. All right, so let's do the same thing on the blues next. Let's create a new layer on top of the blues. We'll set that layer to clipping mask. We'll go to our colors and we'll choose the darker blue. And then remember the left sides of the ghosts. Are going to be the darker color. Okay, then go to our Gaussian blur again. And then slide our pen over till we get a nice gradient. Looking good. All right, let's go to our green layer now. Again, start a new layer on top. Set it to clipping mask. Go to our darker green color. And then let's get the left side of that ghost. Okay. And then we'll go to magic wand. We'll Gaussian blur him. And there we go. And just keep on doing that. New layer on top of the orange. Clipping mask. That's kind of a reddish color I chose for that one. Okay, it's gonna be on, maybe along the bottom too, actually. Can do it like that. Okay, and then go to Gaussian blur again. Yeah, it looks good. Very, very good. Okay, and then the yellow one. New layer on top. Clipping mask. The darker yellow. And let's Gaussian blur it. That's good. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to put little highlights on the right side. So our darkers were on the left, highlights are going to be on the right. And let me see, is there any other reason why I need these on separate layers? And I really don't think so. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine everything now. Now you can do it two ways. You can either pinch it. I have a problem sometimes pinching it. I don't know why. It just doesn't like to work, but it's not too bad this time. So just taking those layers and putting them on top of each other, and then I'm just going to pinch all of them together. Now we have all of our ghosts on one layer, and we're going to do the highlights now. So I've chosen this very light yellow color, which was almost the same color as that light part of the ghost. And we're going to take this layer, and we're going to have to be careful because everything's on one layer, so we can kind of overlap now. So we don't want to overlap. I'm going to leave it on my airbrush, and I'm going to make it really small. And then we're going to go right along. Oh, we need to do it on top, actually, and set it to clipping mask like we did before. That way we won't go. As you saw, I was going outside the lines. I don't want to do that. So now we're going to, that's a little bit too strong. Let's take the opacity down to maybe 50%. And we want to just lighten him up along the right side. Maybe even brush a little bit smaller. I got it at 3%. All right. And then maybe this guy. Okay. So we're just going to basically do this on all the ghosts. So as is, there was a light source coming from the right side. Okay, that's good. Now, if you think it's too strong, you could put the little end there and you can take the opacity down, so it's going to make it a little subtle, which might be a little bit better. So I'm going to take it down to about 61%. And there we have our little ghosts. Now what we're going to do is going to put in some details. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the pack I gave you, and we're going to do the Chamel smoke brush here. And then we're going to make some little wispies on the bottoms of the ghost. So just hold your finger down on the ghost to choose the color that it is. And then I think I'm going to put these on a separate layer, just in case if we make a mistake, we can erase it easily. And then we're just going to do little wispy lines. I need to make him a little bit bigger probably. So I'm going to show you what this brush does. It's a pressure sensitive, so if you start off light and then let go, so it makes these really cool smoky effects, and that's going to work perfect with these ghosts. I'm just going to make some little swirly things around him. So I'm going to do the blue next here. It makes it look so cool, I think. Okay, let's do the orange here. Okay, looking good. Let's do this guy here. And this will kind of fill in the canvas a little bit more on these outside parts. Okay, and let's do maybe some green ones around here. And then we'll do some blue ones over here. What happened? Oh, I had black on. I don't want black. Alright guys, that is going to complete our drawing. I hope you've enjoyed this Halloween theme. We're going to be doing Halloween themes for the month of October. I think this turned out really good. I'd love to see what you guys did. If you post it over on Instagram and tag it with Chamel Does Art, I'll be able to take a look and comment on it. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. It helps the channel so much. Hit the little bell icon. When I upload new videos, you'll get a notification. And with that, I will see you guys next week. Take care.